Hi guys, Don here. I'm in Park S again. After a full day of rain yesterday, we're supposed to have overcast weather until about later afternoon, but no rain. It's about 60 degrees out here. Fall is upon us, and I'm walking into an area I've been before. You've probably seen in my other videos. I talk about the craziness of the abundance of arches in this area, this region. And you can see small and large arches right next to each other, right there, as I filmed before. And then the one over here. It's almost as though some people claim that the small ones are imitating the large ones. The juveniles or adolescents are trying to copy their parents or the larger Sasquatch in the area that build these structures, create these bends or arches. So, and if you hear background noise, it's the wind. There's a lot of wind filtering off the river into these woods, and even though I have a windscreen on my microphone, you're going to hear some wind in the background. But that's the trade-off to get better audio. The potential of capturing sounds in the foreground and background, I have to use a better microphone, which in the past I've used a cheaper shotgun mic, and it's directional, and the problem with that is I can hear noises with my own ears that won't get recorded by my audio. And so it's just me making claims, unfortunately, on video, and I don't lie to anybody. When I hear something, I do hear it. There's two lanes right there, and you can see a third one in the background. Actually, the one in the background appears to be an X, but I don't believe it is. And you'll see the two lanes closer to the camera. So I'm going to walk in. I'm going to leave the camera on now that I have a fully charged battery and have a backup with me. So this video may be a little longer than I intend. Here's a drainage for runoff. And today being today after we had rainfall, the ground's usually pretty hard. It's a little softer today from all the, we had on and off 10-12 hours of rain yesterday. So here's another bend right here. Tucked under this snap off or deadfall. Actually, this was a lightning strike, as you can see, the very end of it. And it's follow it through, it's pinning that arch on the other side. Potentially it was brought here. Could be natural, but it doesn't look natural at all. So I hope my audio comes in right now with the wind right now. and having my windscreen on, you're still going to hear wind. Terrain's pretty hilly in this area. There's drainage trenches between these hills. Because of the overcast, it's not real sunny out here today. It's actually, there's no sun. It's just sort of a blustery day. And that was a slip by me. Guys, we'll go to another location where I saw some structures, and I'll be back. I'm back, guys. I thought this was interesting as I approached it. I didn't know what to make of it. Just a bunch of branches, sort of interwoven, creating some kind of pattern, asterisk. Not really sure what to make of it. They're sort of all pulled together in the middle, and they're all embedded in the ground. I pulled some up and didn't see a root ball. Very strange indeed. Well, I'll be back. I'm back. As I walk away from that structure I just filmed, looked like a star or asterisk, a bunch of intertwined branches. I walk up on this X formation. It's still here. I just wanted to see if there were any changes made. It's a lot more clearly visible now because there's no brush or weeds or foliage around it. Before it was sort of obscured, you couldn't see it. But there it is. As I walk away from that asterisk, it's directly in front of it. It's like maybe an indicator, a sign, like X marks the spot. Don't go past this point, which I did. I challenge anybody to sit underneath this through the night and see what happens. I might do it if I had 2 or 3 other individuals with me, but I wouldn't do it alone. So, yeah. It's and this area isn't known for having a lot of X structures. They're not abundant like you might find in the Rockies or any other area where you have a lot of alpine forest. A lot of leaners in this area. A lot of deadfall also. Here's a break right here. It's an old one. I think that's natural. I think a lot of trees in the area, due to the thick canopy in this area, they don't get a lot of sunlight, and a lot of the trees they die out, atrophy due to not enough sunlight. And they get smothered out by other trees. Here's a conglomeration of lanes right up here. We're just getting a light sprinkle right now. So far, it's nothing serious. Here to me, this is, I guess you could call this an X formation here. One small tree, one large tree, and they are touching each other. Let me get a perspective shot on it so you guys can sort of see. When I walked up on it, I didn't realize I was walking up on it, or I didn't realize it till I was right on top of it. Yeah, right there. And you can see there's 2 or 3 leaners behind it. Sort of wedged between a sapling, the big one is. Anybody wants to know what a hedge ball or hedge tree looks like, there's one right there. It usually has a lot of thorns on it. And hedge balls. This one I don't see any hedge balls. It looks pretty atrophied. Like it didn't do too well in this environment here. But it's a big brushy tree. As it gets bigger, it turns into a big sort of brushy tree-like, bush-like tree. And generally you can see hedge balls laying on the ground around here. The seeds of the hedge ball are inside the hedge balls are actually edible, and they do have a medicinal value. And I'm sure the animals know this. I know squirrels will break them apart and eat the seeds on the inside of the hedge balls, as do other animals. So that would be part of my, I call it my vegetarian diet hypothesis theory, that when Bigfoot or meat eaters during the warmer months don't have access or don't really need to catch deer or meat on the hoof, or they can substitute in their diet a lot of plants and seeds and nuts and fruits. So they and there's enough of that out in this area. Here's a suspicious leaner right here with a forked end on the ground. Right there. Laying in the crook of this tree. We do have a ton of leaners in this area. A lot of lightning strikes. There's remnants of a tree that was struck by lightning at its base. And there's the remnants of the stump still in the ground where it was struck. A lot of blackened trees from lightning strikes laying all over the place. There's one right in front of me. Get struck by lightning if they are living. In some cases it kills them. They eventually rot in the ground and fall over. And somebody left a beer can here. An old Twisted Tea. Probably a deer hunter. And this area is usually off limits for deer hunting, but when I talked to the conservation officer in this area not too long ago, he says this area has probably the highest incident of poaching in the state of Illinois, which wouldn't surprise me, since they defunded a lot of the state and local parks. They don't have the rangers or wardens to cover this area, so people take advantage of it, come in and illegally hunt. Well, guys, I'm going to sign off for now. Catch you further up trail. Bye-bye. Hi, guys, I'm back. And I walked up the trail here, and I found a big mound of scat, and I put my cell phone down next to it to give you an idea of size. I got a Samsung Galaxy, can't talk right now, and there's that big turd, or big amount of scat. I don't know what it is. And then as I scan away, make sure I don't forget my cell phone, I walked up this sort of, I wouldn't even call it a game trail. It's just sort of a worn area, a fairly wide path where I can see something's been walking right there, and everything's padded down. And I followed it down and came to this huge mound of scat right here. Make sure I pick up my cell phone. Don't know what to make of it. So I'm going to show you another spot right next to it. Put my cell phone away first. Because it's so leaf covered here, I can't find any evidence. There it is again. I can't find any evidence of tracks. If something straddled it, their tracks are in the leaf litter on either side of it. I'm sort of looking for impressions. It's fairly soft here. I don't see anything. But I'll pan back. There it is there. And here's this worn area. And as I walk up, there's a big padded area where it's been padded down, like something's been sitting or laying in this area. And then there's trails converging from this padded area where the weeds are padded down all throughout this area. If I follow it through these tall weeds, there it is, padded down. It's all sort of compacted down or padded down. And these tall weeds behind that area are right there. Which is looking toward the crest of that hill. If I turn around, directly behind me is all these weeds, which would be a great fallback position through the weeds. After looking over the crest of the hill or approaching the crest of the hill, they could fall back to this position through these weeds and then back into the forest behind us. I do see leaners back here too. They're everywhere. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 right here in the background. So don't know what to make of it. I just thought there was a lot of strangeness. And if you look back further past that point where you could actually fall back into the weeds, there's a snapper break right there next to this large tree. I don't know if I can get a good view of it. I'm sort of at a weird angle through the weeds. I'm going to walk back and take a look and see. That's not deer scat. The other possibility is it was a dog or a large coyote took a dump, which generally coyote usually has hair and fur in their scat. I mean, there's an arch right there, and then there's a second one next to it. One, and then two, right next to each other. And there's the break I was trying to show you earlier through the foliage and weeds. It's an older break for sure, but it's there. To me, that's an indicator. Usually it points direction, and that direction would be over here toward the between these bends or arches right here. It would be in that direction right there, which looks pretty thick and brushy right now. So I'm going to catch you further up trail and resume looking, see what I find. See you further up trail, guys.